Good morning, good morning, good morning. Gwen, happy belated birthday. And baby boy is graduating pre K. Okay, May 12th. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And I really haven't spoken to too many people lately. Um, but I'm sorry I missed your birthday. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Gamecock Jenny. Hi, Carl. Um, Hi, Mod 148. Carl, what do you mean, fun facts? Hi, Wisco Gal, how are you? Gwen Branston, good morning. Well, I just said that. Jim Rockford, hi. I'm sorry. Hi, Simply Sophie. Hi, sweetie. Um, I have to finish like the last 20 minutes of your live because I was researching testimony that I wanted to talk about this morning. Good morning, good morning. Anne is shopping and listening. Thank you, baby. Hi, Louisiana. Hi, Rod. I need to finish you out too. Hi, my savage. How are you? Hi, Carol. Nice to see you guys. Let's see. So, anyway, I have Island Girl. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Shyla. Good morning. Good morning. I have been enthralled in this Athena Strand with Tana Lynn Horner um, testimony, his penalty phase. And I got so pissed the other day, I had to turn it off. I was so mad. Hi, sweet potato. As I said before, we should have just had a trial. We really should have had a trial. We've got one of his friends from school testifying, and then they were friends. Well, not school, but they were friends for quite some time. They met because he was dating somebody that his friend Jay knew. Then they broke up, they lost, and then he says that in 2021. Hi, Lisa Wigger. Did I say hi? um Girl, Savage, the fence is pissing me off. Hi, Mari. You're bringing in people, the pastor from the church that he used to go to, and then he supposedly confessed to the pastor, and the pastor was telling him about trying to explain to him the severity of what he did. Are we fucking kidding me? Okay. um then we have the friend Jay, who Tanner babysat his son in 2021, which I would be asking, hi Chantel, and congratulations on your 5K. Congratulations. I would be asking my child, did he do something to him? This shit is crazy. Then we have the ex-girlfriend who they dated in high school. And then she said they broke up, then they got back together, but he only wanted friends with benefits. And but then she testified that he walked 20 miles to her home because he wanted clarity on their breakup. I'm like, this motherfucker walked 20 miles. Okay, for clarity. Got you. Okay. Then we have the scientist who came in and was talking about the amount of lead that Tanner had in his system, which was, I think he said it was 24 times higher than what normal people his age have, which could have led to some kind of imbalance in his brain. I'm not watching it right now, Mari. I'm not watching it right now. I could Yesterday took me out with the psychiatrist. That one took me completely out. Okay. Um, so I was like, okay, we have a little girl that was getting her package of Barbie dolls, and the Barbie dolls were, I think it was, you can be whatever you want to be. We know she had a bad day in school, and the teacher told her that you know tomorrow will be better. Well, tomorrow never came. Girl, when I they knew what they were doing. Uh, and then she told me he had PTSD, and they said that all the other experts didn't see no PTSD, and she feels that her her conclusion is correct. So then we heard about his mother and his father, who were drug addicts. The daddy spent most of the time in jail. Who gives a fuck? We knew he stayed with his grandmother. But they said the house was always filthy. His aunt got up and testified about that. Um, then we had, I told you about Jay, and then Jay said uh, that his wife had kicked Tanner in the groin, and he never did anything about that. Hi, Sarah motherfucking Z. How are you? So supposedly this week we're going to hear from the brother and I think the grandmother, the brother and the grandmother, because the mother testified, which we give no fucks about the mom either. The facts remain. None of them, like they said to the aunt, did that ever cause you to go out and kill somebody? No, 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 no. That psychiatrist who has been on the stand, what's her name? Ryan? Oh, she pissed. Well, she was on, she said that Horner told her that he got caught snorting cocaine by Athena, so he felt trapped. Now, let's remember, he said he hit her with the truck. Then he told another lie that this old man met him with a rifle, took his ID, and made him go and get Athena. So his story keeps changing. Then we hear about how he had admitted himself into a psychiatric hospital or for addiction treatment. Was it a psychiatric hospital? And then he had called his girlfriend, and the girlfriend at the time, and told her that she might want to look on Facebook because he was going to off himself. Manipulative. Manipulative is what he is. Okay. So she ran over to where he was living at, and that was, I think, his grandmother's shed, and he was found unconscious. The police were called, and he was admitted then to, oh, hold on. He was admitted to Millwood. Okay. So he was there for about a week. So they said that he started seeking treatment in 2022 because he was feeling increasingly depressed and suicidal. But let's get to the Reverend with a pastor, Pastor J. That I think, no. What's his name? Gabe? Pastor Gabe. Well, that's not his real name, okay? That wasn't his real name. They just gave him that name and they blurred him out when he was testifying, okay? He said that um, Tanner reached out to him. You know, he's a former member of his church, and he reached out, like I told you, and he told him what he did to Athena. But did I miss it? Did the pastor ever say that he called the police? Did the pastor ever say that he called the police? Then they talked about, you know, he was a regular kid, he had a little bit of autism. This is what the pastor is saying, okay? He said that the pastor said he wasn't disruptive to other people, but he would hurt himself. And the way he would hurt himself, he said he would hit himself all the time. Hi, Chris. How are you? Hi, Christoph. He would hit himself all the time. So I'm sitting there going, why are we bringing these people on that he knew 10 years ago, 15 years ago? What difference does it make? You kidnapped that little girl. You heard that little girl asking you, where are we going? Are you a kidnapper? And then you heard him tell this 7-year-old little girl that she was beautiful. Hi, shit show. That she was beautiful. Ren Rock. Oh my God, where have you been? You heard him tell this 7-year-old girl that she was beautiful. You want me to believe that this man who kidnapped the little girl had the presence of mind to clean his truck, to get rid of her stuff? Still don't know where her clothes are. And then when you went back to work the next day, you asked to drive the same truck. You've got the presence of mind to do all of that because you said that when they change your routine or your route, it caused you anxiety. Yep, that was fecal matter. See, so we discussed that before because they said it, was it last week? But, and then somebody brought it to my attention that when you die, that you pass, your bodily functions. Okay. But the abrasions that were in her mouth and the semen that was found on his pants and his shirt, the fact that he had his footprint, the tread of his shoes were on this little girl's head and face, is disgusting to me. I'm wondering if he actually forced her to give him a blowjob. Yep, and I'm thinking so too, Savage, because they were talking about the abrasions, but he said he tried to snap her neck. That didn't work, so he strangled her. Again, Zero came in when it was, when he was looking for a reason, because he had a split personality. He's bipolar. That little girl suffered. And then I saw, did everybody see the custom coffin that was made for her by this one guy? They made her a custom coffin. It was lined with fur. It was pink. There was a princess crown on it. But after her services, she was cremated, and the coffin is like a keepsake for her mother. I'm like, why would you want to keep that? But did you guys see the coffin? Let me see. Can I find it? Hold on a second. Athena, hold on. Athena Strand coffin. It was custom made. Oh, here it is. Okay. Um, hold on. Hold on. All I want is the picture. Okay, hold on. Let me get it. I just want to show you guys. Yep. Hi George. Hold on, let me share this with you. Um, hold on. So I don't understand about it's to be used as a keepsake because I was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on.
Was Friday. It was private. Her
This is
mother
from three
sharing
years
these
ago.
pictures with us of the little girl's casket, custom made and donated by Trey Ganem of Soulshine Industries.
It just turned out actually beautiful.
He recently made 19 custom caskets for the children killed at Robb Elementary in Uvalde.
It was really emotional for me.
The color, of course, is pink, Athena's favorite.
On the top of the casket, we made a beautiful princess crown.
There's also Viking symbols on the front.
One of the symbols is father, daughter, and it's a Viking symbol. And then the other symbol is mother, daughter.
Athena's father does Renaissance festivals, and the first grader
Hi,
would often
Mustang.
tag along.
Athena had some really cool pictures with her Viking. She had an axe, and then she had this huge shield, and she was a daddy's girl.
Athena was cremated after the service, and her casket will serve as a memory box for her mother, Maitland.
Okay, that's all I needed you to hear. Why do we want a memory box? Hi, damn it, Mandy. Why would we want this as a memory box? Your daughter was laying in the coffin, and she was removed, she was cremated, you have her ashes. Why would we want to keep this? It is, Chris. It is. Chris, am I mistaken? Wasn't it you that said that your ex-wife sister was one of the victims of the Gilco, um, you know, of the guy, Hex, whatever his name is? But that was before you met your wife. Her sister had disappeared and was uh killed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was Chris. So again, the coffin, okay, I don't think coffins are beautiful, but okay. The coffin was custom made. I liked it. It was, but I would not keep that as a keepsake. Where are you going to put it? Why would you want that? Thank you. Why would you want that? I, when I heard that part, I was like, wait, what? What? She kept it as a keepsake. No, 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 no. Oh, okay. So you watched him. Okay, Lisa. But yeah, I wouldn't want to keep that as a keepsake. No, 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 no. You have your daughter's ashes. That's fine. That's fine. No, no. But anyway, so when the psychiatrist was testifying, and I'm serious, I got so mad, I had to hi JJ, I had to turn it off. So then I went and I pulled the transcript, okay? And I'm reading this and I'm like, bitch, are you stupid? So she was talking about the fact that, several months after that incident that happened, he attempted to K himself again by cutting, upper and lower extremities, is what she said. See, yes, but shit show, would you keep a coffin? Okay, thank you, Chris Trock. I thought it was you. Her half sister. Okay. Yep, yep. I remember when I was first discussing it, you told me about that, and I was like, oh my God. So, yes, thank you. And I just wanted to make sure I was right. She said that that was a serious unaliving attempt. Okay. She said that his mental health, she said, kept declining. And because of his Asperger's and the fact that he was on the spectrum, it was a major, it was a major depressive disorder. I was like, wait the fuck a minute here. She said he had ADHD. It was really, really bad, she said. But he kept a job. He had the presence of mind to kidnap the little girl, to lie to the police and said he hit her with the truck. He was scared she was going to tell her dad. Then he tells the psychiatrist that she caught him doing coke. Wait, how would she see you in your truck doing coke if she wasn't in the truck with you? Yeah, that's true, shit show. It's hard to say, but me personally, I couldn't do it. Me personally, I couldn't do it. So, but that's true. A lot of people, yeah. Me personally, I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. Um, she says that the medications, they talked about the medication he was on and all the stuff he was taking. But again, he had a job. They said he was prescribed 2 antipsychotics. Um, Again, he had a job. That's true. People do grieve differently. And then you're blaming his his home life, on his mental illness that didn't cause him to have autism. You're blaming his mother and father, but yet we heard from his speech therapist that he was basically raised by his grandmother and his grandfather. Okay, so you can't have it both ways. Now, we heard that when the mom would be in the home, that she would disrupt his routine. Then we find out that Tanner had an issue with drugs and with drinking. So his maternal grandmother, which is his mom's mom, she and two of her siblings who completed unaliving themselves. And one of the sisters who was diagnosed with a bipolar disorder, she unalived herself. And she was around the same age as Ryan. Around the same age as Tanner. But here's the thing. If you were going to kill yourself, and then it was a brother that, that shot himself. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So they all harmed themselves. Why did you harm Athena? This woman is a professor of psychiatry at Ohio State University. And you're getting up on the stand and you're saying all of this bullshit. Again, the pastor stated that he would never harm other people. He would always harm himself. He spoke of an incident when I guess they were at a rally or a race and he had broken his stick and, he took it out on himself, not others. So again, I'm wondering, why did you harm Athena? What was it about Athena that made you harm that little girl? And then when his friend Jay was up there, he said that Tanner and his wife would babysit his son. So I didn't know Tanner was married. I don't think he was married. I was just, maybe that's the way, maybe that's just the way that he was speaking of Tanner's girlfriend. Because Tanner, from what I don't think he's married. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know he was engaged. I've never found anything about him being married. And for that pastor to sit up there and talk about, he had a little autism, when the speech therapist says it's a lot of autism, but then my brother had a speech therapist for 2 summers and he didn't kill anybody. Okay. We heard about how Tanner was beaten by his aunt. He was abused and beaten by his mom and her brother, which is Tanner's father. Again, how many kids grew up in a time where you would get your ass beat for anything? I didn't go around killing anybody. He was seeking to do this, period. She was just in the wrong place. I think he was really trying to get that other little girl until her dad came out the house. And then the fact that he was pissed off because they blocked off the street and he couldn't get down the street. My question is, was Athena in that truck at the time, or did they block? They had to block off the street that day. Where was Athena? Was she actually? No, because they would have searched the truck. They would have searched the truck because they had the streets and everything blocked off because they were looking for her because she had been kidnapped. So they had all of that blocked off. So, okay, that answered my question. He was, let me see. People grieve differently, but they also grieve differently depending upon the personal relationship they've had with the person they've lost. The speech therapist had me like, what? savage. When the speech therapist was up there, I was like, okay, why are you here? He had already put her in the water. Okay. That was the next day. I couldn't remember. I think he wanted that other little girl. And then he couldn't get her. So he got Athena. So again, the pastor was talking about him being a member of the church and all of this stuff and how he would harm himself but nobody else. Again, what does this testimony have to do with him kidnapping and trying to break Athena's neck, putting his foot on her forehead, on her face, and strangling her to death? Did he get off by strangling her? Is that what he did? Because he's already been accused twice now of raping. And those two women testified. I don't want to hear how he was a nice young man. I don't want to hear any of that. He is a murderer, an admitted murderer. And then when I found out, he told the cops he would tell them everything if they just let him spend one last Christmas with his son. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. I'm serious. I'm not watching today because my blood pressure went up so high yesterday. I was so mad. So mad with the people they're bringing in 10, 15, 8. Okay. What about his friends now? What about his friend? And I'm telling you, when you read that autopsy report, and they talked about it, I dropped the link before for the pathologist who was on the stand with the cuts and stuff in her mouth and everything she was saying. She didn't come right out and say it. That led me to believe. But they never said they searched his genitals, he had bite marks or anything else. Yep, thank you, Savage. His mental health has nothing to do with this. This man held a job. And then he's saying that hopefully this helps her family to sue FedEx. FedEx didn't kill that little girl. You did. You killed that little girl because your route changed. Your route is always changing. Always. I remember when my sister was delivering the mail, when she came out the mail, when she came out the post office, she didn't want to be in there anymore. She wanted to be on the road. Her route changed all the time because people were out. She had her route, but then you were always given extra routes and stuff. And they would be delivering mail to 6, 7 o'clock in the evening if somebody got sick or called off. Somebody had to cover that route. My sister didn't go out and kill anybody. This doesn't make any sense to me. This man doesn't have PTSD. He had the wherewithal to have relationships. He has a child. He had the wherewithal to clean up after himself. Hi, Sassy. But that's what I used to tell Kayla because she would order food and stuff when I'm not here. And I told her, don't order shit. Don't order stuff when I'm not here. I said, then when I told her, I said, have them delivered to the door. You do not order anything and open my door. I don't trust anybody when it comes to kids. You can't trust these people. And then I'm listening. I was listening to them talk about Lynette, the woman who had the yacht with her husband. They had been sailing together. What's her name? Lynette Hooker. When I heard about her case, I thought about Natalie Wood. They were on a dinghy. What is it? 5 foot, 8 foot dinghy, and she went overboard. I thought about Natalie Wood as soon as I heard about that. Then he was taken, the husband, Brian, was taken into custody and then released, and he wasn't supposed to leave, but he's back in Michigan. He is back in Michigan and said that he was going to go back and find her. How you going to find her? He said he believes she's still alive. The daughter and her husband or boyfriend went over there, and they can't come up with anything different than what he said. I think he killed that woman because they released some of her text messages she had sent to her friend in 2024. They had separated, then he had got back together, and they were breaking up again. I don't think he wanted a divorce. I think he killed that woman. My sister works as a cop in child crisis unit, and the story she has told me is horrific. It ticks me off when people use their mental health. Thank you! To hide behind the horrible things they do. I started the Jose Dykeman trial. Is that the homicide in the home murder? Because I know there was another trial that I said I was going to start watching. But the fact that he reached out to that pastor, and I haven't found anything that stated the pastor reached out to the police. I haven't found anything that said that. When I order my groceries from Walmart, I tell them to leave it on the deck, and when they're done, they take a picture. Yep, they take a picture. Yeah, but again, this whole Athena Strand, all of this testimony and shit is just pissing me off. It pissing me off because we're bringing in all these people that has nothing to do. We don't care about his mental health. He's lied. He's changed his story 4 times on what happened to Athena. You pled guilty. You didn't plead guilty to murder with a mental health defect or disorder. You did none of that. It doesn't matter what your mother has to say. It doesn't matter what your brother's going to say. It's not going to matter what your grandmother have to say. You are in the state of Texas, Harris County. Is he being tried in Harris County or is it Tarrant County? He deserves, hi Ghostface, to be put to death. Now, I found this, and I'm going to play this for you guys because this is how I feel about why this man needs to be put to death. And when I saw this, I said, oh my God, this is what I've been saying. In one letter, yes, Sassy. Yes. George, people lost their damn minds every damn day around here. But this shit is crazy. Hold on a second. Let me just share this with you. I still haven't gotten, and I need to do Platteville. I'm caught up with Platteville. I told my sister I'm going to do Platteville, and I may be back today or I may do it tomorrow, but I will do a recap of Platteville. I have to. Okay, let's just go here.
What God was thinking when this guy was created, I don't know. Maybe God decided to punch out.
Look at Athena. Look at Athena. Look at this little girl. And she asked him, was he a kidnapper? She asked him, where are we going? He said, it doesn't matter.
Personal thing. I don't know. But this, not even a monster. That's unfair to monsters. If there was ever a reason to punch.
Look at this. I saw a video of a man posing to be a UPS delivering a package and killed the whole. The home security cams caught it all. I'll never open the Ghostface. You need to send me. Oh, okay. I'll find it just by what you just said. I'll find it.
Someone's lights out permanently. It is this case.
I miss you,
on November
Ghostface.
30th, Athena Strand is reported.
Look at this little girl. Look how beautiful she is.
He is delivering a box of Barbie dolls to Athena. And that box is called You Can Be Anything.
Yep, that's the name of it. You Can Be Anything.
He comes back. He brings Athena to the back of his truck. He picks her up. He puts her into the van. She says to him, are you a kidnapper? At first, he tells her to be quiet.
That's in the transcript.
At some point, and here is probably checkbox number 2, why he is going to be strapped to a gurney and a needle stuck in his arm.
Exactly. He needs to be strapped to a gurney. Look at this beautiful little girl. She is a combination. I think she looks more like her father than her mom. Well, George, get started. It's 5 episodes. This last episode was great. Get started. It's 5 episodes. I have my sister
are very
hooked on
pretty.
Platteville.
That's what this man says to this 7-year-old child before he tells her to take her shirt off.
That's from the audio. And I don't know if you're going to be able to find the audio from the van now, but you can look up audio transcript from the van, and everything he's saying is what he told her to take off her shirt.
Proof that she was sexually assaulted and he killed her. Blunt force trauma, suffocation, and as the expert testified during the penalty phase, she suffered. In Texas, the prosecution has to establish
Good, George. I'll do it tomorrow then.
Special issues. The primary special issue is that you are going to continue to be a danger to the rest of us. And in the penalty phase, not only is the prosecution permitted to describe in grotesque detail the horrific nature of the criminal offense conduct, the prosecution is also allowed to bring in other instances.
Yep.
In the penalty phase, the prosecution, as they did, brought in proof that this monster has raped at least one other.
2, not 1, 2. Look at this little girl on her knees talking to him while he's driving.
Woman. So,
but here's the thing. I want to point this out, okay? He normally covers up the camera. On that day, I think he forgot, because we've seen video with him covering up the camera. Why didn't he cover the camera when he took Athena? He did not cover the camera.
The prosecution establishes that he is a continuing danger. And the prosecution is going to be able to show, or shall I say, the defense will not be able to show what we call.
Okay, I did talk about her a little bit, but I haven't. So what happened with Michaela, her dad got her drunk one night, and he continually raped his own daughter. Okay, she couldn't live with what was going on, what happened, and she unalived herself. Now, the dad, the prosecution is saying that since there's no witness, they may not be able to try his case. And I will be talking about that, damn it, Mandy, because I have been following that. And beautiful young woman. She went to her dad's. Well, she was living with her dad, and he got her drunk. And
any mitigation. Yeah. In other words, something good about this defendant, or something where it would be unfair to execute him, such as mental disease. And here, the defendant is going to hang his hat on, don't kill me because I have suffered my whole life from mental illness.
Yep, that's what he said.
Now, the $64 question is, well, how do you do that? How do you combat, as a prosecutor, this notion that he wasn't mentally ill? Because, my God, what sane person could have, for 1 second, even comprehended doing this to anyone, let alone a 7-year-old child, let alone actually doing it? And here's how the prosecution does it. His lies also seal his fate from the standpoint of this notion of I was suffering from mental illness. He had the wherewithal to lie to law enforcement in explaining what happened.
That's what I said.
In other words, he says to law enforcement, I'm driving my truck. I hit this girl with my truck. I freaked out and I killed her. I tried to break her neck and then I suffocated her. I lost my mind because I had just hit her. And that's what happened. That was an abject, complete,
you.
bold-faced, you've got to be kidding me lie. But what that demonstrates is this man's understanding of what he had done and his efforts to try to soft sell what he had done. He's not denying that he killed her, but it is one thing to say, I hit somebody by accident, I freaked out, and
I like
killed
this guy.
to cover it up. It is another thing to make the conscious effort to see a girl, bring her to the back of your truck, to get her into your truck, to kidnap her, to sexually assault her, kill her,
Yeah, I'm on both channels.
dispose
I'm
of her
sorry.
body, clean your truck, to wash away all evidence of what you had done. So that lie is just
You see him cleaning
another.
the truck, right? You see him cleaning the truck. Like I said, when we looked at him that day when he pulled up at the gas station, he had the wherewithal to clean up after what he did.
Demonstration of his understanding as to what he had done.
Thank you.
And cuts the legs out of any notion that he was suffering from a mental illness.
Thank you.
You literally start out by saying, okay, this man woke up that morning, he had breakfast, he put his clothes on. He's able to get into his car and drive to the FedEx facility to pick up his FedEx truck. No mental
Hold on, I'm
breakdown,
gonna drop the
no
link
freaking
right
out,
now.
perfectly able to get to the FedEx center. Got into the truck, knew he had to make deliveries. So far, once again, there's no mental breakdown.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying. When I saw this morning, I went, oh my God, somebody else that understands. There was no breakdown. He wanted that other little girl first.
He was able to do all of these things exactly as he was supposed to.
Hi,
So
KK.
now what do you want to say? Oh, it was just at that moment
I got two
that
birthday
everything went to
girls in
hell,
the chat.
and my alter ego, my other
Amber is at 5 and
personality,
below right
my
now. She called
bad
me.
person, my sick person now kicks in. Wow, what a coincidence. And then suddenly you snap out of the sick person and you go back to being sane because you recognize what you just did. You had the wherewithal to clean your FedEx
That's
truck.
my word,
You had
the
the wherewithal
wherewithal.
to drive to a gas station to get stuff to clean the truck. You
And
had
don't forget, we saw him eating as well. After he kidnapped her, did all those things to Athena, he went, cleaned up, got food from the gas station, I think it's Love's, and he was eating.
the wherewithal to go back to the FedEx facility and tell them, oh, by the way, don't give me just any truck tomorrow. Give me the same
Told
truck
you he wanted the same
that I
truck.
had today. So unbelievable. Before it happens, no mental break. After it happens, no mental
He
break.
deserved to
What an
die.
unfortunate coincidence for this man. That is why, in my opinion, mitigation is schmitigation. It means nothing. It's going out the window, and he's going to get the death penalty.
Especially in Texas.
which has the death penalty and historically has been the worst state in the union. If you are facing
They
the
just
death penalty,
executed a
you're
19-year-old.
probably going to get
Committed
it.
a crime
There
when
are
he was
two
15.
counties you sure as hell don't want to be in if you're worried about getting the death
You
penalty.
don't want to be in Texas, Florida, or Louisiana because they don't play. Texas, Florida, or Louisiana, they do not play.
And that's Harris County and Tarrant County.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Mr. Horner, but fortunately for the rest of us, this case is being tried in Tarrant County. So I can't say the odds are stacked against him because these are odds that he doesn't deserve. He doesn't deserve any odds, any chance. An argument could be made that Mr. Horner is better off getting the death penalty.
He needs to die. I don't care if he's better off or not. He needs to die.
Because if he gets life in prison without the
kill
possibility
him.
of parole, he ain't going to be around very
Nope,
long.
they gonna kill him.
There are certain crimes that you commit, and it is a badge of honor for
Yes.
someone in that institution to kill you. And they may kill you quickly, or they may
And
kill
he
you
actually
slowly
said to
and
his
torture you
attorneys,
the way you.
He doesn't understand why the people in the jail are calling him a monster. They gonna kill you. I'm gonna be surprised. Well, they have him in segregation right now. They're going to do just like they did to Jeffrey Dahmer. They're going to turn his ass out and he going to be dead.
Tortured that child. But I can almost promise you,
That's
he
true.
ends up in jail for any
Okay.
extended period of time. He's coming out feet first anyway.
Thank you. He's coming out feet first anyway. So let me show you this one, which we were just talking about. Michaela Settles. Okay. Let me show you Michaela's story. And hold on a second. Let me grab Michaela. This is the young woman whose father raped her for 4 hours. 4 hours. Okay. 4 hours. And she couldn't. System wouldn't help her. Nothing. Let's listen to Michaela's story.
11, a young woman's cry for help, a shocking arrest, and a family's fight for justice. Tonight, why her loved ones say they won't stop until her voice is heard.
Gina Silvas joining us now with more on this. Gina.
That's right. This is a very disturbing case involving allegations of sexual abuse and incest. The victim's family is seeking justice, and they're turning to the public for help, urging supporters to pressure the Ventura County District Attorney to take this case to trial.
She was just
Look how
such a
beautiful.
sweet, loving, kind person.
When Michaela Renee Settles turned 18, she moved from North Carolina to Moorpark, California to live with her biological father, Stephen Vincent Chavez. 2 days later, her family says she called, terrified and asking for help.
It was just the fear in her voice, her crying. You know, I didn't need details. I knew something was wrong, and I said, I'm on the way.
Still in town, Carolina Sandoval says she rushed to Chavez's home, desperate to find out what was wrong with her daughter. When she saw her, it broke her heart.
She's just like, she's barely walking. Like she's just, you know. And so finally, like, my brother literally, like, just picks her up, like, he hugs her.
Michaela was taken to a hospital and a rape kit was performed. According to the family, the results came back positive for Stephen Vincent Chavez's DNA. He was arrested that same night.
So again, I don't understand why the prosecution is now saying there is not enough evidence and there's no eyewitness. They knew he raped his own daughter.
Charged with incest, taking advantage of a position of trust, and providing alcohol to a minor. Her cousin Crystal Sandoval was in shock.
I was screaming, I was crying. I just kept thinking, why would he do that to her? Why would he do that to her? I knew that this wasn't something that she could come back from.
Crystal was right. 5 months later, Michaela died by suicide.
If I'm being 100% honest, it feels like I handed my daughter to the devil.
Carolina says this is what Chavez texted her the night Michaela was taken to the hospital. I'm never drinking liquor again. I don't want that blackout to happen again.
You aren't blacked out. Like, you're using that as an excuse.
The family says there's another devastating blow. They say the Ventura County DA's office has told them the case against Chavez may not go to trial because Michaela is no longer alive to testify.
Okay, here's the thing. A rape kit was performed on her. It was her father's DNA. Okay? No matter what it is, it's incest. You go to jail. He got his daughter drunk, his 18-year-old daughter, and then tried to say he blacked out. What the fuck?
The DA was essentially saying, we don't know if we have a case because
This young
she's no
woman
longer
unalived
here.
herself
And she
'cause
told me
she
that.
could
I
not
immediately
deal with
said, no, we're not gonna let that slide.
Think about the worst thing a father could do to his daughter.
Determined to get justice, Crystal took to social media. Her videos went viral, and now hundreds are promising to show up to Chavez's next court hearing scheduled April 21st in Ventura County.
He took
And that was last week.
sunshine away and just kind of broke her soul.
The Ventura County District Attorney's Office issued the following statement. We have seen the posts online and want to let the public know that our sexual assault unit continues to prosecute the defendant for this extremely serious crime.
Really?
This case has been filed since July 2025. when the evidence supported the filing of felony charges. As with any case, prosecutors filed charges based on the evidence. Now, despite that statement you just read, there is no guarantee that the case will go to trial. And since the family has already been told that's a possibility.
Yep. The family's been told that's a possibility, that he would not go to trial because the witness was not there. So I will, yeah, that's what they're trying to imply. That's what they were trying to imply. And I was like, what the fuck? Hold on a second. It was an update on this case because I have her written down. He was charged with incest and assaulting the daughter. Okay. Hold on a second. He was charged with incest and assaulting the daughter, but they didn't know if they were going to be able to bring him to trial for rape. And then they were trying to make a deal with him. So I have to dig into that because they were trying to make a deal with him. Yep. They had 5 months. So he needs to go to jail. But anyway, guys, I really do. I have to go. I have groceries to pick up. I thought I ordered delivery, but I didn't. Yeah, she was raped for 4 hours. 4 hours by her father. So you're telling me that you were blacked out for 4 hours? You were telling me that you plied your daughter, who was 18, who wanted to move from North Carolina, moved to California to be with her dad, and this is what you do to her? Yeah, they have his DNA. Yep. When they took her to the hospital and did the rape kit, his DNA. And he was charged with incest. Let me see. He was charged with, what was it? He was charged with incest, parental abuse, assault, and then they were trying to get him on assist suicide. I don't know how that worked out, but hold on a second. I think it was assist suicide or something like that. And I was like, I would charge him with first-degree manslaughter. First-degree manslaughter. So she died before his trial. Okay. So now they're saying that they don't know if they will be able to move forward. But the system let her down. Exactly, Lisa. The system let her down. Again, we have this whole penalty phase going on with this piece of shit that needs to go to jail. Oh, one more thing. The Dances with Wolves star. I forgot. Hold on a second. One more thing. Dances with Wolves star. Okay. What is his name? Oh my God, I wrote it down and my dumb ass, and hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what his name is real quick. Okay. I have a little bit. Nathan Chasing Horse. He was sentenced to life in prison. You remember he was the little boy on Dancing with Wolves. He was charged with 23 counts of sexual abuse to children. Okay. He was yesterday, he was found, Tuesday, he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the chance of parole. And let me drop that for you guys too. I told you, yes, with Kevin Costner. He was a little boy in Dancing with Wolves. Happy birthday to your daughter, Ann. Happy birthday. But Dancing with Wolves, there is the link. You'll see his sentencing is like 1 hour and 5 minutes. And yes, and he was traveling around as a medicine man, but he had been abusing young kids. One girl he abused since she was 12 or 13. He abused her like 4 times. Like 4 times he abused her. And hold on a second. Let me see. Because I had it up. Hold on a second. Let me just show you this little part right here. Share screen. So this is him right there. Hold on. Make this bigger. He was in Dances with Wolves.
About some of these issues.
I will hear from the first victim.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's first speaker is Lynette Adams.
So that was him right there. I think his trial was only a day. But he was found guilty.
Statistics are not abstract to me.
So I've been watching like several trials. That's what I've been doing. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I gotta go pick up my and Pablo a kiss. Oh, send Pablo a kiss. So yes, I will see you guys later. I don't know who else is going live today. I don't know. I know I finished E11's live. I was watching KK's live. I still need to finish Louisiana High Rides live. Sophie, I think I have like 15 or 20 minutes because I was actually reading and listening to the testimony from Athena Strand, from the psychiatrist, because I couldn't take her any damn more to stand yesterday. So that's what I was doing. And then I saw that Money Swipers. I went in and said hi to her. But I will remind you to take a moment. Yeah, please hit the like button. I would have really appreciated it. And Savage, I don't know when you're going live, but I really miss you going live. I really, really do. And I will definitely see you guys later. I got to go throw some clothes on so I can go pick up my groceries. Don't stay gone. Oh, Chris, I am so serious, guys. Some of you know what I've been going through, and it's taken a lot out of me. So, and it really has taken a lot out of me. So I am trying, really, really trying. So I'm going to set my live for tomorrow for Platteville. So that way, if I set it, I know I'm going to do it. And it's just been a long, tedious journey right about now. So I'm trying to get back. Thank you, Marty. I'm trying to get back to where I was. And yesterday, honestly, I got a little teed off when I was listening to something. So it's if I've handled things that happened way back when, I really don't want to hear it again, and I don't want to be reminded of it. And it just pisses me off to hear this shit again. So I'm trying my best. I'm really trying my best not to be upset by stuff. So, but I love you guys, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I really need to go now because I feel myself falling apart. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.